It's me, Tony. Come inside of me, dry hump day. I feel upsettingly sober because it's later in the day today. It's like 3:55 and I've been awake for hours. So I feel far away from the personal joy I have with my coffee, my Tony's butt mud, and now I don't have that while I'm talking to you. And there's an emptiness I feel, a sadness of trying to find a personality in the mid-afternoon at 3:55 p.m. I mean, having a personality at this time of day, difficult to achieve. However, this is what's happening. I was giving a somatic session this morning, so I was busy, but what a great reminder for you to want to book a somatic session, to want to do that with me. We were working on a lot of things that I think a lot of us need to work on. Grief, that was it. We were working on grief. We were working on so much stuff, though. It was deeper than that. Again, my personality, I hope I can extract it. It's going to come inside of you eventually. I hope so. It has to come inside of me first. But we're going to talk about marriage and a video I made that like really upset people. So last week I made a video. It was truly 11 seconds. Go watch it, where I said, if marriage was beneficial to women, the patriarchy would make it illegal. That was all I said. You know, like, is that a controversial statement? Yes and no. You know, were men angry? They were. I think it's worth watching the video, A, because, hey, views for me, but B, because the comments. And so I wanted to take a moment to explain what I mean by this statement. So, and this is why I was like also so concerned about like, why are these dudes so butthurt? It's interesting how when you say we live in a patriarchy, men are like, what the fuck? We don't live in a patriarchy. It's like, well, are you saying that you don't rule the world then? They're like, no, we rule the world, but it's not a patriarchy. It's like, are you understanding words? Curious, you know? Are you trying to say that if you don't believe we live in a patriarchy, you really believe what, women rule the world? No, you don't believe that. And nor do you believe that we're like living in an equal society. So you just have to, you know what I mean? Like, are you telling me I'm the boss of you, my dude? No, you don't want me to be the boss of you. So we live in a patriarchy. We live in a patriarchal society, about 8,000 years old, depending on how long you're gonna date back history. Obviously, we can debate the merits of history till we're blue in the face, but patriarchy is a small percentage of our human history. Less than 1% of our human history has been within patriarchy. Same with capitalism, same with the state. I mean, all of these systems that are fucking us up the caca, fucking us up the butthole with no lube, is they're very, very new systems. So when I say that marriage does not benefit women within a patriarchy, or the patriarchy would make it illegal, what am I trying to say? I'm saying is that the institution of marriage, which is pushed on people very aggressively, which is intimately embedded in the state. Hello, you need a marriage license from the state, okay? So you're gonna tell me that in a patriarchal society where the state is pushing an institution, that that's gonna benefit women? What? No. So on the other hand, I'm like, this is a very obvious thing to say. Like, why were people so upset about this comment? This 11-second video, it upset people. So one of the things that we have to remember is that we are supposed to exist within community. Yeah, we're supposed to be in community with each other. We're not supposed to be isolated. The isolation of the family unit is a cultural psyop. because that means that you're taking people and you're taking them out of their natural habitat, which is to coexist within community and to share responsibility within community and to have a mutual effort of a thriving community amongst each other. Like that is our natural state of being. And instead, you take that and you isolate people into individualized families. Yeah. And you put them in boxes and you say, now you're alone in this box. How does it work? Good luck to you. And sure, we live in quote unquote neighborhoods or cities, and there is the potential of community within that context. But I don't think we can argue the fact that community has been like deeply impacted by modern technology, modern quote unquote advancements, and modern infrastructure. So it is very dangerous for women to isolate them. It's dangerous. The number one danger for a woman is a man she's in an intimate relationship with. Does that mean that all men are abusive men? No, of course not. But can abusive men abuse when they live alone with a woman? Yes, they can. That is very obvious. So when you have women who are sequestered with a man who also can be her abuser, that is very dangerous. So when we isolate women from each other, we are putting them in greater danger. Is this a controversial idea? Like, this seems so obvious to me. Am I on acid for saying that isolating women is dangerous for women? I don't think I am. I think it's just, yeah. And it's not always just physical abuse. It's emotional abuse. It's spiritual abuse. It's being used also. I mean, there's this concept of the invisible labor, the emotional labor. I've done a podcast about it. Go listen to it. The pressure on women to serve multiple roles for her husband, yeah? She must be his therapist, his best friend, his mama. She must be his secretary, booking his appointments. And then she has to do all of that for the children. We know this. Like, I don't think it's not like we're not aware. Society is aware. The question is like, oh, but you're supposed to just be delighted. You're supposed to be delighted by this role that you play, this multi-tiered octopus role of taking care of everyone within your family and having very little emotional support within that context, and also being sequestered and isolated. So if you were to be emotionally / physically abused, no one's there to witness it except for your children, who cannot protect you and will only be traumatized, and their trauma is actually really beneficial to the state, because traumatized children are actually better for the state than a thriving child, because a traumatized child is easier to control. So the state doesn't care about child abuse. The state doesn't care about women being abused. The state is actually like, great, fantastic, works for us, works for the cogs of the capitalist system, because if people are thriving emotionally and spiritually, they are going to want to, I don't know, fight against the status quo, push against the system, restructure society so it's not sucking our will to live at every fucking turn. So marriage is not designed to benefit women. What it is designed to do is to exhaust them, especially after the feminist movement, where you are like, oh, you should do all the work of the 1950s housewife and all the work of a man, because you also have to have a job. So you're going to just do both. I mean, I bet less women are on barbiturates now. Less Quaaludes are happening because women don't have time to be on Quaaludes, because they're doing 2 jobs, 2 full-time jobs. So you can't do Quaaludes on 2 full-time jobs. I mean, the advantage of the 50s is that you may have been completely devoid of your own emotional expression within like art or your purpose in life beyond being a caregiver, but you had the Quaaludes. Now we don't have Quaaludes, and you get to fucking work through the capitalist machine as your pacifier. for dealing with all the other stuff. So, dun 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 dun, how is that benefiting women? And so then a lot of people were like, what about divorce? Well, what about divorce? The woman makes out when they get divorced. The woman takes half of his things. Let's be clear about something. If you have a woman who is doing all of the home work, the work of the house, if you didn't have her doing it, you would have to pay a person to do it. So the money that is being made by the husband is just paying the fucking wife to do the work that you would have to outsource if she was working. If she wasn't there, you would have to pay someone to do it. So this is the concept you must understand, is that men who are supporting women, who are supporting the houses, they are paying their women to do the work. That's what's happening. That is the economic exchange that is taking place. So in a divorce, that is continued, right? And if you're like, well, that benefits the woman, that is protecting the woman. I don't think our legal system is concerned with protecting women. Have you met our legal system? Have you paid attention to the functionings of our legal system? It's not like here for us, all right? The legal system is not like, oh, what's going to be best for society? Let's do that. Let's do that for everyone. I think that's going to be really good. No, women only very, very recently started being able to keep custody of their children after divorce. They started to just very recently have these financial settlements of alimony. This is new. This is very new, like 3 decades at most old, barely, okay? So why are they doing this? Is it for women? You think it's for the women because the legal system cares about the women? No, it's to further men within a capitalist fucking nightmare. It's not for women. No, it is not. It is to dive the dagger of capitalism deeper into the back of men. That's a different motivation. That's not like benign. It's not like, oh, this is what's best for women, and this is just like, let's just protect these women. Absolutely not. No. That's not the motivation. It is around social control. All right? It is not around protecting women's interests. And the social control of men being buried within their capitalism needs is part of why we don't have a fucking revolution, dudes. Because we are exhausted. So you exhaust the men with capitalism, and you exhaust the women with also capitalism and emotional labor and the nurturing labor. And then no one has the energy to be like, let's do a revolution. Let's just like pull it all to the ground. This is why it's by design. And this is why dudes got to understand the patriarchy does not serve you either. It does not serve you, it does not serve you. The patriarchy is not for you, even though you think it might be, it's not. So, maybe it's like, I don't know why all these people are defending a system that benefits the state and state only. This is what confuses me. Does that mean that every marriage is bad? Of course not. Does that mean every man is a bad husband? Absolutely not. Okay, we know this. You can enjoy being married, but is it the married that you enjoy? You enjoy the contract you made with the state? Or do you enjoy partnership and love and connection and intimacy? Because that has nothing to do with the state. Absolutely nothing. That has to do with a commitment and a sense of loyalty and security, which are things that are much deeper than a state contract. And in fact, putting the state into your marriage is part of the pressure cooker that makes the marriage want to implode. The state doesn't care that so many marriages end in divorce. The state thrives within this context because the divorces, that is just feeding into the legal system, the economics of the legal system. It's also feeding into the trauma of the children. And I think a lot of divorces honestly come from the pressure cooker of the structure of marriage, which is not fucking natural. The structure we're supposed to be in is much more communal. Does that mean that we want to be around people all the time? Absolutely not. That's not what community is. But it's about an expectation of societal infrastructure that is meant to support those that aren't just the ones you happen to breed. Yeah? And the other thing about breeding and marriage is that when you're a breeder, and then you're like, oh, I made this kid, and now I have to like be better at capitalism so my kid can go to college, and I gotta be better at capitalism so I can provide for my kid. And then again, you're not doing the revolution because you're caring about capitalism because of your kid and wanting to provide for them and wanting to do all the things. And oh, my kid needs these shoes and my kid needs this toy. And do you see the trappings of this structure that is contained within the cultural standard and norm and status quo of marriage? So this is what I'm referencing. Do I have an attitude? Maybe. Maybe I do have a tude. But that's because, like, I feel like these comments, I don't really care about the comments because comments equal views, so thank you. But I just feel like it's like, stop taking things so personally. I made another video about the death of philosophy and how people just do not understand the concept of philosophical discourse, of actual inquisitive dialogue, of the intellectual pursuit of knowledge, which means that you have to examine structures and examine society and not be like, well, I happen to like it. I happen to think this works for me. It ain't about you. It ain't fucking about you. We're not talking about you. We're talking about culture and society. Broaden the scope. Open the aperture of your eyes and be like, well, how is this actually something that benefits the fucking state? Which is every single institution we are a part of is a function of the state. It is not a function of societal growth and emotional and spiritual evolution. It ain't. It's about keeping you small, keeping you contained, keeping you controlled. Every single structure, not one should we keep. We must dismantle them all. I can't think of one that's a groovy structure. Can you? If you can, DM me. So, long story long, we need to look at these institutions and ask ourselves the deeper questions of who do they benefit and why, and not be so naive to think that, like, no, it's good. No, it's good. No. Again, if marriage was good for women, why would you have an entire industry of Disney pushing it on us? Huh? Why would one of the most powerful child propaganda machines be pushing marriage? Why would they do that if it was like natural and good? You know, like, no, it's not natural and it's not beneficial. That's why it's part of a propaganda machine. I mean, is anyone here thinking that Disney is just like, oh, these are just like stories. Oh, they're just like fun little stories. Disney's a propaganda machine to condition and control our children. And yeah, maybe there's some good films, okay? Like, did I like The Little Mermaid? Yeah, I did. I dug The Little Mermaid. Is that a propaganda machine about Eric, the fucking prince, and how she has to like lose her voice and just like be hot to fuck this guy without her fish puss, okay? She needed to have a human puss. She can't, why couldn't he just like fuck her fish puss? What's so bad about that? He could have done that. No, she needs to have she can't have a fishy puss. I mean, look at these stories. These stories are fucked. So the reason why we need these stories is, again, because we need the propaganda to push us into marriage. All right? So this isn't shitting on your marriage. I'm not shitting on your fucking marriage. Your marriage might be divine. It might be delightful. It might be the best marriage ever. And God is blessed. I've seen some cool marriages. Oh, the other thing that's so funny is all these guys are like, oh, you like a cat lady? Ah, you've never had a man in your life. Or I'm like, first of all, do you have fucking eyes? Do you have eyes? Do you not see that I am a hot woman? Yeah, I fuck dudes. I have plenty of men in love with me. I am married. Like, I've had many men. This isn't a conversation around, like, well, can I get a guy? No, I can be married and I can have men love me and I can have access to men and not be like a fucking victim of propaganda. I can hold both things in my hand. Can you hold both things in your hand? We can be married and also be like, this institution of marriage is garbage. You can do that. We can do it. So why did we get married? I don't fucking know, because we're brainwashed. That's why we got fucking married, because we're brainwashed. And we're like, oh, this is things you do this. I'll just, here I go. You know, and then you're like, wait, even while you're doing it, I'm like, this is garbage. This is garbage, but it's what we do. And this is why brainwashing, propaganda, this is how effective it is you can know you're doing it and just be like, this is fucking bullshit. I should not do that. I do not subscribe to this institution. And yet, oopsie, here I am. Now what? All right, so this isn't about being better than people or like worse than people. It's about the process of questioning. Y'all, we just gotta question. That's all we gotta do. No shame. Although, like, yeah, it's just not about shame. It's about just like, yeah, I got duped. But I also knew I was getting duped while I got duped. You know, there's so many times where I'm like, this is bullshit. I'll go forward. I will move forward into this bullshit fucking context because this is what society does. And that is part of the human condition. And that's why we have to unpack it and untangle it. Yeah, I mean, but I do think it's funny that like the attack of like, first of all, what the hell's so wrong with a woman with cats? Like, cats are glorious, mystical creatures. I don't have a cat. She died, you know, and then I got guinea pigs, and now I can't have a cat and the guinea pigs because the cat will want to eat the guinea pigs, and that just like seems rude. But it's just like, that's what you come up with, my dudes? Oh, I mean, I guess a couple of women were like, she just never fucks. I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? My access to dick. I have so much access to dick. That's why I can talk about it. Get a life. Get a fucking clue. All right? Am I defensive? Probably. I'm not even ovulating. No, I am about to. That's what is about to happen. I'm not dropping eggs as in a parade. I am dropping eggs as if to ovulate them. So maybe that's why I want to like just tear things apart at their seam. Who knows? I think you could like track my flow based on the energy of my videos, because some of my videos are bitch city. Some of them are like really kind and compassionate. Hello. I gotta, some of my comments, rude. I am sarcastic in those comments sometimes, but other times I'm not, you know. If you want to know what's going on in the hormonal cycle, watch my video of the day, or listen to my comment, or let's read one of the comments to some person. Or write a shitty comment and see how I respond and be like, oh, I can see where you are in your cycle this week, you know. But then my cycle is mysterious, because right now ovulating it should make me friendlier and be like sexier, because I'm like, oh, I want to breed, but in truth, I just want to like rip a dick. Not your dick, just like a metaphorical dick. I just want to rip a dick. I want to rip the dick of society and just be like, stop with this. Examine your dick. I have nothing against the dick. Y'all know that about me at this point. But I don't like using the dick as a weapon. That's what I don't like. I don't like the grape consciousness of dick. Oh my gosh. The amount of Republican senators going around graping children is alarming. I keep talking about it, keep posting about it. I show Grape Culture, Boston, 9/11. That just happened to be that date. And I think that's a date where we have to question the state anyway. So 9/11, Boston, 9/11, Rockwell Theater. I'm going to Philly the last weekend of September, Cannonball Fringe Festival, Graping. I'm going to be in New York City October 5th for a solo comedy stand-up show. You want to know what it's called? It's going to be at Joe's Pub. It's called Pump Your Pelvis Against the Patriarchy. You heard it here first. I have to make a flyer and start promoting that show. But I'm going to get the ticket link and I'm going to start posting it. So get tickets. I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you for receiving my cunty vibes. But just go read those comments and you'd be like, no wonder why this girl's such a cunt today. Anyway, I love you. Have a great day. Bye.